Hey there everybody, my name is Vetros. I'm going to be going over some details with you today on what I personally believe the current state of the game is incorrect with, and how it can be improved and fixed. A couple key bullet points that we're really going to be going over here on this one to kind of go over everything and how much or what we need to do to try and get this fixed. So I guess we'll just go ahead and jump right on into it. Number one, loot. That's probably everyone's kind of key focus and complaint about the game currently at this point in time, is that the loot and the system we have in place for looting doesn't work. It works for some, but it's not really working in the way that I think Blizzard or the community really want it to be in. And this is probably one of the biggest complaints that I've seen amongst the forums and the YouTube posts and most of the prolific YouTubers and streamers that still play WoW in general all have this same kind of a notion. And a lot of it stems around from a couple little things. One of the biggest one being Azurite armor, and the second one being forging, Titan forging, war forging, whatever you want to call it. In my opinion, one of the easiest ways to resolve this, well, let me try to backtrack just a little bit. The biggest issue we have right now is that we're seeing items that should be definitive 100% upgrades for us being pushed to the wayside because there's a talent system involved in the Azurite armor that's not as good as what we currently have equipped, even though it could be 10, 20, 30 eye levels below us. And that was something that Blizzard specifically said they did not want to put inside the game ever again, as it happened with Legion, and I believe it even happened with WoD. Notice a little bit of a pattern here. That being said, there is a way around this. Put an upgrade system to the current Azurite armor. It's not very hard. You did something very similar with us when it came to the matter of the artifact weapons that we had in Legion. We had the ability to upgrade them and stack them higher and higher. Allow us to pick what talent we want on, the wheel. Unlock all of them. All the talents are available to us on every single wheel except for the bottom one or the middle one, which is the 5 artifact plus thing inside there. Unlock all of them on each piece. Give us the option of, say, 3 per each spec. That would work that way. So you got, for instance, my Shadow Priest is one I have pulled up right now. We've got 3 for Shadow, 3 for Holy, and 3 for Discipline. Allow us to pick which one would suit our playstyle the best. Give them relatively equal settings. They would do sort of the same things numbers-wise on each of them, and then give us the ability to upgrade the actual items from there. It's not going to harm anything. It's either, or make it to where as we upgrade our artifact necklace, the Heart of Azeroth, make it to where it increases the stats that we get on our pieces of Azurite armor as we go along. We don't have to get new pieces every single time. You prove that with the artifact weapon. There were very, very little people towards the time of the artifact and artifact weapon went away, that people had a problem with it anymore, because we got to transmog it, we got to do fun stuff with it, we didn't need to worry about getting another piece to upgrade inside the game, especially when we're in the current state that we are with problem number 2, reforging. Well, not reforging necessarily, but not mythic, Jesus, I can't talk, warforging and titan forging. Having to rerun an instance or anything over and over and over and over, or do world bosses or mythic pluses, heaven forbid. I think I'm a part of a vast majority that don't like mythic pluses. Or maybe we just got burnt out on them with Legion. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't like running mythic pluses. I don't like putting a time limit on what I'm doing and being constrained and forced into this. And then on top of that, if we have an AFK or a lever, whoever put the key in just gets put to shit. It's kind of fucked up. But instead of doing something like that, reward the people for what they're doing. Give them token upgrades, or give them a big hefty piece of Azurite inside there that will go towards upgrading all 3 of those pieces of equipment that we currently have equipped, or make us separate it. Put more into this one for higher score in this one, and this one. You're taking up three key pivotal spots when it comes to stats with most classes. The helmet and the chest themselves generally generate the most intellect or strength or agility out of any of the other pieces in the game. And then you have the shoulders, which are the key pivotal point of most transmogs. And everyone cares about what they look like. You wouldn't have had such a push to include transmogging into the game if people didn't care about what they look like. And you were reluctant to do it for a while, but you got it now. Plain and simple. It's not hard to do. Make it to where the Azurite just levels with us and we don't have to worry about getting multiple pieces of it. Don't put costs on reforging. Third piece inside there is you guys just had the Q&A on this one recently. And you put the Q&A inside there saying we might be doing a reset. Why? You guys are just looking for a way to sink gold costs. Because you introduced a massive money-making way in Legion and Warlords of Draenor. The money in the game became massively inflated with the amount of bots and everything else that was going on inside there, to the point now where you have a mount in the game that costs 5 million gold to buy from a vendor. 5 million. And it's owned by a lot of people. You're looking for a gold sink and you thought reforging was the way to do it. It's not. Keep putting those mounts in the game. People will buy them if they like them. People bought the spider mount. People bought the dinosaur. They're going to continue doing it. They're going to continue sinking their gold into these things over and over again, especially when you have collectors and people like Asmongold who will spend 10 million on the Shaw of Anger on the black market. Again, another huge gold sink. Bring the black market to every current, so from the past city. Don't bring it to current. Bring it to the one beforehand. Take the black market from Mop, put him also in Draenor, put it also in Dalaran for Legion. We would love to have some of those crazy ass drops that came out of those places, but do them in a black market sense. It's not going to hurt anything. And don't make it exclusive to rogues. That was just a dick move. Just saying. Point number 4. This one kind of deals a little bit with the way the game currently is structured more than anything else. Why is it that you're getting comparable drops to some of the hardest content you put inside the game from things that are run in under 30 minutes? Don't make the loot comparable between high-end, heroic, and mythic rating. I wouldn't even say heroic, because heroic can be pugged. Mythic rating and mythic plus. They need to be two completely separate entities. In my opinion, honestly, I don't think Mythic Plus should really drop a ton of loot. I think it should be more of currency for the current location that you're in, and Azurite power. And you need to do the reversion to Azurite to where you have the ability to pick, like a points 1 and 2 I made. It would fix a lot of things. It would make people a lot more happy. Now, yes, there will still be loot that can drop inside of them. Put a vendor at the end of it with a freaking token at the end. This has been recommended by so many people. The one I primarily heard it from was Asmund. It's a genius idea. Put a token at the end of a dungeon. The mythic dungeon, for instance. You complete through a mythic 10, let's say. And you know, there's one item inside this dungeon that you needed. Let me get it. What's so problem with that? I sat there and worked my ass off to get through this dungeon with 4 other people. Give me a damn piece of loot. That's not the potential of being a downgrade or a side grade. When it's something that you're probably going to make me run another 5, 6, 7 times before I really have the capability of getting it. And then, wouldn't you know it, I got it, but it wasn't a high enough level. Why would you do that in this kind of a game, just to make me spend more time playing it, knowing that I'm not going to be able to do it again until I get another group of people, we get another keystone? You're making me waste my time that I could be doing other things inside the game that are a lot more fun. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not a fan of Mythic Pluses, just because I don't really find them to be enjoyable. I love dungeons. I love dungeons, but I like getting loot from my dungeons too. What's such the big problem about being able to have each boss give you a piece of loot? What's the problem with having it defined? We don't want them to be forged. We don't want them to be Warforged or Titan Forged. We don't want to have to run the same boss over and over and over again, hoping this time that he drops a piece of loot that you're looking for, but it's a 370 with a slot. Or socket, whatever you want to call it. What was so wrong with how Wrath was? Knowing I get this definitive piece of gear, it has these stats on it, and 2 gem slots. Drop chances high, low. I mean, there was no issue with that. People had fun running those dungeons over and over and over again. I ran Utgard Pinnacle God knows how many times looking for different pieces of loot. At the amount of times that we ran, what was that? The Calling of Stratholme, which was a fantastic instance, I might agree. I might say, but I ran that place probably over 100 times looking to get A, the shield, and B, to get most of the people in my guild the mount. Because it was fun. Also, tone it down with the new stuff on the shop as opposed to releasing stuff to your actual players. It's getting really bad. Like, it's... I think the patch notes... The patch notes for 8.1 put it far better than I could, showing that we're getting remodels, recolors of current existing mounts inside the game, as opposed to actually something new. But you've got 10 plus different new mount skins just on their own in the shop. Now, again, if the league is correct and you're bleeding numbers, and this is the only way you have to be able to keep your count up and money up for the game, I don't know. Stop ruining the game for people. Make the game fun for them the way that it used to be. You've got a ton of different people providing you with suggestions and things to do that will improve the quality of the game as it stands right now. But you're not taking their opinions into heart. You're just pushing them to the wayside, and a lot of them are the people that you have blocked on social media. I don't know. A couple solutions to what I think some of the biggest problems are inside the game, and I think you guys should probably take a look and listen. If anyone out there in the world has any problems or opinions with what I have said and the things that I have stated inside of it, please leave them below. I read through almost everything. Happy to do so. If you want to follow me anywhere else, all of my stuff will be in the link below. My name is Vetros on just about everything, VETTROS. Thank you. Have a good one.